win in a fight between the mountain lion and the gorilla. The mountain lion is approximately the same size as the gorilla, but their actions are very different from each other. They have their own powers that are very different from each other. So their advantages and disadvantages are very different from each other. So the cougar has been known the king of the mountains because they can do very well. They can climb up mountains and they can jump from one mountain to the other. So a cougar is known to be longer than the gorilla. So the gorilla is approximately the same height as a human. Well, cougars are related to house cats, but they're not supposed to be pets, even though they're like house cats. They're not the house cats because cougars are much bigger than a house cat. And also, cougars can be called mountain lion, puma, or panther. And it's the fourth largest member of the cat family after jaguars. But even though cougars are much bigger than the leopards, and the leopard is the fifth largest member of the cat family, the cougar is the fourth. So even though a cougar is bigger than a leopard, the cougar doesn't have the highly skilled technique to roar. Only leopards can roar. And also jaguars, lions, and tigers. But the cougar and the cheetah cannot roar. They can purr, growl, and hiss. So a cougar cannot roar. So now, size and description. So the cougar is about the same size as the gorilla. It is up to 7 to 8 feet from nose to tail. So it's longer than the gorilla, and it stands 2 to 3 feet tall at the shoulders. And it weighs up to 100 kilograms, 220 pounds. And also, cougars are native to America. So, a gorilla is the largest primates. So it stands 5.1 feet tall while they're standing up, and it weighs 430 pounds, 220 kilograms. And the largest one weighs up to 660 pounds. They're more likely related to humans, but both gorillas and humans are approximately the same size. The gorillas can stand 5.1 feet tall while standing on their hind legs. So, we're now on the weapons. So, the gorilla has its arms and its very powerful canines, while cougars have its claws and its jaws. So their powers and weapons are very different from each other. So rarely they do meet each other in the wild, but generally they don't meet each other in the wild. So this makes the fight kind of interesting. So now the cougar has its paws. Its paws are not bigger enough, but it has some powerful paws and has strong arms. So it has the perfect ability to grip on its prey's back and then drag it down to get the reach of the throat, and it bites it with their powerful jaws. So the gorilla has large arms and powerful arms. Well, they're known to be taller than cougars. And it's more likely be powerful. So in this fight it might likely to be rare because they don't meet each other in the wild. So the gorilla's weapons, that its arms is so powerful, and its jaws. Now we're on bite force. So gorillas have a bite force up to 1,300 pounds per square inch. It can bite off nuts. Well, cougars have a bite force up to 350 psi. That is worse than that of a Turkish Kangal shepherd dog. So a cougar has lower bite force than the gorilla. Now diet. So cougars aren't picky about their diets. They die on insects, mice, beavers, raccoons, and wild turkeys. And they occasionally take on larger animals like deers and llamas. And also, they're opportunistic feeders. So they hunt smaller prey and they frequently hunt larger prey. Well, gorillas' diets are different from cougars' diet. They will die on fruits, barks, leaves. So they have a powerful bite they can use to crack nuts. And the gorillas need a lot to get nutrients, but most of their days continue eating and sleeping. Okay. So now we're moving on to habitats. Cougars range from northwestern Canada to Patagonia, South America, while gorillas can be found in Central Africa. The western gorilla lives in Western Africa, and the eastern gorilla lives in Eastern Africa. Differences between mountain lion and the gorilla is that gorillas have black furs, so their fur is the color black, while cougars have peach-colored fur. So cougars live in cold places, and cougars have lived in 21 to 23 countries and had different names. So that is why they had entered in the Guinness Book of World Records. So a gorilla, very large, related to humans, and the gorilla is 9 times stronger than that of a human. So now aggressiveness. If we move on to aggressiveness, then obviously the cougar has showed some aggressiveness, while gorillas are calm. So gorillas are not that aggressive and attack just so if they feel threatened. So now we're moving on to what happens if an intruder comes. So they will show their aggressions. So a cougar started using their growls and hiss and puff, while gorillas is beating their chests. Now intelligence level. So gorillas can understand sign language. So we don't necessarily find out who's the smartest by looking at their brain size. So it's not necessarily true. So gorillas are more intelligent. So now we're moving on to agility. If we move on to agility, then cougar will win this round, because cougars are much more agile, able to jump at one mountain to the other. Now we're moving on to speed. Cougars can reach speeds up to 50 miles per hour or 80 kilometers, but can keep its speed up for a very short time. So Usain Bolt cannot escape a cougar because cougars are faster. Well, Usain Bolt can escape a gorilla because gorillas can reach speed up to 25 miles per hour, 40 kilometers. Now we'll move on to the final battle. Who will win in a fight between the mountain lion and the gorilla? It's very unlikely that these animals will meet in the wild, and it's very rare. I mean that the gorilla is larger and powerful than the cougar, more intelligent, so it can figure out where and how to strike. Well, cougars has speedy movements and agility. And first of all, I think that the gorilla can kill the mountain lion easily. So the gorilla will win the fight.